improve student life. I should point out that the fraternities of the 20s, between the four houses that would form Gamma Delta Chi, and that's the Gamma Delta Epsilons, who became the Alpha Sigma Phis, the Phi Nus, the Alpha Sigma Phis, the Lambda Chi Alphas, these houses together. Oh wait, I made a critical mistake. The national fraternity that Gamma Delta Epsilon joined was Phi Kappa Sigma, not Phi Kappa Sig. Wait a minute, stop. I'm confused. You're going to the 80s and the 70s for each of these classes. Pulled together, there was enormous numbers of these guys. But for the most part, they were all white Christian males, because the fraternities on campus at this time were all white and Christian. And when I was doing some fundraising solicitations in the early 80s, I approached several of the old members of the class 28 or 27 who said that they had joined a white Christian fraternity and were mad that we took non-Christians and non-whites in and weren't going to give a penny. But in 1934, it was felt that a local fraternity, free of the national constraints, could in fact take in non-Christians and non-whites. And this was very significant. So at the moment, everybody's talking about that, and the Phi Nus are trying to buy the backyard off Gamma Delta Epsilon. The Gamma Delta say, hold on, let's get together and make a deal. If we pull our resources together, we've got almost $40,000, or we can raise that much, we could actually build a moderately nice little fraternity house. Why don't we merge? We'll give all your members, all the Alpha Chi Rhos, since they don't have any new pledges, we'll give all the alums a life membership in return for the cash that they're going to give us. And on top of that, they'll have a place to come for reunions. So they agree. Now the original drawing for the Alpha Chi Rho house exists for where it would have sat in the backyard. And it would span from roughly the parking lot through the barbecue pit, almost to the TriCap property. And would have been an analog for Tabard across the way. But that didn't happen. Warren Monsey, Lime Arms, Bill Slay sat down and began mapping out a merger for the two groups. And in May of 1935, the Gamma Delta Epsilons sent word to their national affiliate that they were going to depledge from the Phi Kappa Sigma fraternity, which they were a member of. And they left. They briefly formed the Zeta 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 chapter, or Tri-Z, and they were that for probably about 30, 40 minutes. And then they took a vote to merge with the Alpha Chi Rho alums to form Gamma Delta Chi. And that was formed and incorporated on May the 18th, 1935. And that's when Gamma Delta Chi comes into existence. Now, they had a committee formed to create insignia, which we now have, and the pledge pin, which we now have, and the secret handshake, which no one remembers, and several other rituals, which no one remembers. So obviously they weren't that memorable. It's odd when you meet members of another fraternity and they proceed to give this weird knuckle-dusting handshake, which at first, when I was given it, thought, oh my God, this old man's making a pass at me, until one of the other guys said, oh no, he's not, brother, he doesn't understand this secret handshake. And there are Masonic secret handshakes and various fraternal groups have. We don't. If we have any handshake at all, it's, hey, how you doing? You want a beer? And that's about the only greeting we have, I think, but at least it's consistent.